It's a fatal shooting that's grabbed national headlines with a well-known rapper killed in his hometown of Bogalusa. Officials say a family member was also shot and survived.
The family of the victim, Javorius Scott, known as JayDaYoungan's, they say that he was standing outside of his home on Superior Avenue when someone opened fire, killing the rap artist.
Hey there, Katie. Javorius Scott, a rapper who goes by the stage name JayDaYoungan's, was just 24 years old. In his very short music career, he was really able to make a name for himself, not just in his hometown here in Bogalusa, but also the music industry.
July 27th, 2022, started like any other summer evening in Bogalusa, Louisiana. The small city, with around 10,600 residents, sat north of New Orleans, near the Mississippi border. For 24-year-old Javorius Scott, better known as JayDaYoungan's, the day had been relatively quiet. He was home, spending time with family. By evening, he and his father, Scott Sr., were sitting outside their home on Superior Avenue, enjoying the warm Louisiana air. At approximately 5:50 p.m., the peace shattered. A dark-colored vehicle pulled up near the home. 3 men emerged, moving quickly toward the property. Javorius and his father realized what was happening. They tried to run inside, seeking cover, safety, anything to escape what was coming. But 2 additional gunmen appeared from the side of the house, cutting off their escape route. The trap was set. Gunfire erupted. Scott Sr., armed with his own weapon, returned fire in a desperate attempt to defend himself and his son. The shootout lasted only seconds, but those seconds changed everything. Javorius was hit multiple times. At least 8 bullets struck him, tearing through his body. His father took 2 rounds to the arm. As the gunman fled, the rapper collapsed. The violence was over, but the damage was done.
This is only what I hear. Someone came up from behind the house, and with a ski mask on, and gunned them down in broad open daylight on a public road, a road that's a busy road. So people have gotten so bold of doing things today because they know or they feel like they won't be caught.
One victim was transported by private vehicle to Our Lady of the Angels emergency room. The other, critically wounded, received treatment on scene before being rushed to the hospital. Scott Sr. was transported to another facility. His condition stabilized, but for Javorius Scott, the injuries were catastrophic. Doctors fought to save him, working urgently to stop the bleeding, to repair the damage. It wasn't enough. JayDaYoungan's was pronounced deceased at the hospital. The news spread quickly. Within hours, social media erupted with shock and grief. Fans, fellow artists, and industry figures mourned the loss of a rapper who had climbed from Bogalusa's streets to national recognition. His girlfriend, Karina V, posted a heartbroken tribute on Instagram, writing about their last words to each other and the devastating loss. The rapper had just lost a newborn child weeks earlier, making the tragedy even more profound. To understand the final hours of JayDaYoungan's life, you have to understand the years that led up to that moment. Javorius Scott wasn't just a rapper. He was a product of Bogalusa, a city where poverty, limited opportunities, and gang culture intersected. Born on July 15, 1998, to Scott Sr. and Letitia Jefferson, Javorius grew up in a community where survival often meant choosing sides. From age 8, he was writing rap lyrics, channeling his experiences into music. By 2017, at just 18 years old, JayDaYoungan's was dropping mixtapes. His song Interstate broke 4 million views on YouTube in under a month, giving him local recognition. But it was his 2019 single 23 Island that changed everything. The track went double platinum, reaching millions of streams on Spotify and establishing him as one of Louisiana's breakout rap stars. He signed with Atlantic Records, released mixtapes like Endless Pain and 23 Is Back, and collaborated with artists like Lil Durk, Boozy Badass, Kevin Gates, and YNW Lucci. But fame came with a price. JayDaYoungan's music reflected the streets he came from. and those streets never let him go. Federal authorities claimed he was involved with the 23 Gang, a group accused of trafficking guns and drugs in Bogalusa since 2017. The gang's name came from JayDaYoungan's signature phrase and was tied to his brand. Members allegedly used his music and image as symbols of their identity. JayDaYoungan's legal troubles began piling up. In May 2019, he was arrested in Florida for felony possession of oxycodone and marijuana. In February 2020, he was arrested in Texas for assaulting a pregnant woman. Deputies raided his house, finding cash, promethazine, oxycodone, and multiple firearms. In April 2020, he was arrested in Georgia on drug and weapons charges. In June 2021, he was released from prison after serving 7 months for possession of a firearm while under indictment. Then came the Roseland Trail riot shooting. On August 8, 2020, around 7:30 p.m., a crowd of over 500 people gathered for a trail ride in the pine woods of Tangipahoa Parish. The event was supposed to be a celebration, a birthday party, but tensions between two rival gangs, La Familia and Purple City Boys, erupted into violence. Multiple gunmen opened fire. Zion Hutcherson, a 21-year-old mother from Baton Rouge, was killed by a stray bullet. She wasn't the target. She was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. In September 2021, JayDaYoungan was arrested and charged with accessory to second-degree murder and obstruction of justice in connection to the Roseland shooting. Investigators believed he helped shoot a music video with one of the alleged shooters just days after another murder, possibly as a show of solidarity or involvement. He posted a $175,000 bond and was released. Just weeks later, in October 2021, he was arrested again during a traffic stop for drug and weapons charges. Then, in December 2021, he was indicted on federal gun charges, facing up to 5 years in prison. By the time July 27, 2022 arrived, JayDaYoungan was out on bond, trying to navigate a legal system that seemed determined to bury him. He had just released his EP All as well in March 2022. Despite his legal troubles, his music career was still alive. He had millions of fans, a recording contract, and a future, however uncertain. That evening, sitting outside with his father, JayDaYoungan had no idea what was coming. On the anniversary of his death, fans gathered to remember JayDaYoungan. Memorials were held. Tributes were posted on social media. His music played. People shared stories of how his songs had impacted them, how his authenticity resonated, how his success inspired them. But the celebration was tinged with sadness, with anger, with frustration that his life had been cut short. The last hours of JayDaYoungan's life were ordinary, sitting outside with his father, enjoying a summer evening, living, and then they weren't. In seconds, everything changed. A coordinated attack, gunfire, 8 bullets, a 24-year-old rapper lying dead, another casualty of a war that has claimed too many young lives. Officially, his case remains unsolved. No suspects, no arrests, no justice,